And when you think about a tent or the house or home, any function that the tent or the house serves ties into the use of the shin as well as the use of the bed. So if the shin in this respect, when you look at Shabbat, means to press, and of course this simply is the house, to press against the house or press to the house. In other words, how do we do that? We press to the house when we either sit down or we lie down. In other words, resting. So this is the first thing that we learn about the seventh day, that he reposed. He ceased from a particular task and rested. Not that he was tired or fatigued, but he was teaching us something. So let's continue. It states in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 3, and Elohim blessed. So now we're going to look at that term, if you don't mind. Let me get the board clear for you. Now the word translated as blessed this term is barak. Barak. Okay? And when you look at the way that it's formed, it is, you find it in Strong's number. I can write the number here for you. 1288. You're going to do the research on it. Again, this is a primitive root. What it means is to kneel. The implication being to bless. Now, again, when we look at the parent root for this particular word, what we find is that it is the resh. Now the resh is the head of a man. And when you think about the term rosh, which is derived from the parent root for the letter itself, resh, okay, simply meaning the head, it can also mean the top, the summit, the first in position or chief, okay? But now we have the head, but then the other letter of forming the parent root, and according to the pictograph here, and this is the palm of your hand. Okay. Whereas the letter Yod, it is a pictograph of the hand, and you know the pictograph is actually this part here. Now the Kaf is a picture of the palm of the hand. Now likewise, what are the functions of the palm of the hand? Now one of the things that the palm of the hand can do, we use it to cut or to carry. So it has the ability to bend. Alright? So the idea is head bending. In other words, that's where you get the whole idea of kneeling. Now when you think about the creator of the heavens and the earth blessing something, that requires from his heavenly abode to bring forth something from his presence to this physical world. And what he gave to us was a particular 24-hour period in which we are supposed to cease from our work. So when he kneels to provide a sanctification to this day, which we're going to see, this clearly shows the second point to substantiate why we should observe the seventh day. The first being the term Shabbat, the resting. The second being Barak, which is the blessing now. that was applied to this particular day. But let's continue. Again, Genesis 2:3. And Alahiym blessed the seventh day. He didn't say he blessed the first day, which Christians and people who follow that particular doctrine are teaching through their observance, which we already saw. The Catholic Church, again, proudly and boastfully will let you know that is of their legislation. Okay? But he said the seventh day was blessed and sanctified it. Now, let's look at the term sanctified. Okay. Now, the term sanctified is spelled Qul. Everybody like to see that. Qul, Dalet. Okay. And Shin. Okay, the word is Kadosh. Kadosh. You find it in your Strong's, number 1990. Okay? Now again, this is a primitive root, and what this means, to be clean. Real simple. The term Kadosh means to be clean. Now, let's take a look at the parent root. The pictograph for the letter Kuf. This is a picture of the sun at the horizon. Okay? Now, when you think about the horizon, depending on the context of the word that's being used in determines how the letter forms the definition of the parent root or the foundation of the word. So when you think about a horizon, what takes place at the horizon? What the horizon does is separate the earth from the heavens. If you've ever been on a beach and looked out towards the ocean and you've seen that, you've seen the ocean and then you see the sky. And that line that separates, even though there may not be a visible line, but that part right there that separates that water from that sky, that's considered a horizon. In other words, that indicates a separation. Okay. Now, the word, or the letter, for door, which is the Dalet. Okay, now think of the functions of a door. A door serves the purpose for going in, going out. Okay, so when we put these two together, the horizon and the door, the foundation of the term is translated as being clean or sanctified or holy, simply means that we're being separated for entry. Now the question I want everyone to think about, entry into what? Because this is a word that is applied to Shabbat, which we understand to be holy. And all it means to be holy or sanctified is to set apart for a particular use or purpose. So now, when we look at this term, the resting, blessing, and sanctifying of the day makes it Shabbat. Nowhere in the passages where we have just read does it state